Many a times we have the dreams, but many a times we're not able to follow through our dream. The reason being lack of clarity, the reason being lack of focus. The process of meditation is helping us to train our mind significantly so that we can sail through the life easily, so that we can realize our dreams greatly.
Meditation is the key for transformation. The more you do meditation, the more transformed you are. The less you do meditation, the less transformed you are. And no meditation, hardly any transformation. We have to understand that there's a direct relationship between transformation and meditation. And we want to be transformed. We don't know what is transformation, but we want that. And when you sit in meditation, that happens.
For me, meditation has been that thing that calmed my mind, cleansed me out of those fears of anxiety of the future, right? And also helped me connect to my intuition. We all call meditation is not a technique, meditation is a practice.
I listened to Chandra's experience, how meditation helped him in his career, in his life. So when I listened to those experiences, and I did that first half an hour meditation, made me feel calm. And I started attending additional programs. And towards the end of those 40 days, my entire life, I've realized, is transformed. I can clearly say who I was before meditation and who I was after.
I have been meditating with Buddha CEO fellow meditators for 3 years. I'm sure all of you have heard this: when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and that's how Buddha CEO came in my life. I was at a crossroads of life of sorts, and a lot of people spoke about meditation. It has taught me a lot about life in general and how to accept when things come along.
Welcome everyone to day 34 of our Daily Nature program. And this week 5, we have been learning about emotional quotient, about 2 important sutras of manifestation, goal setting and visualization, and acceptance and gratitude. And we're inspired by hearing from our masters from St. Louis and their messages. Their transformation journey. Requesting Chandra sir to continue today's session. Thank you.
Yes, this is happy morning, friends, and a wonderful evening for those joining from the West. Yes, I'm not Chandra. Chandra will join. He's having a wonderful time in Delhi. There's a workshop today too. Spending a lot of time with meditators, introducing new meditation to new people. Connecting with many, many people. Something that I always get inspired from. How he is able to take along everybody. And that's something we want to talk about today. Meditation essentially is to help connect and become one with everybody. Patriji spoke about meditation means transformation. We all come here because we've been in this program for 5th week. We are close to ending our 5 weeks. And we definitely are seeing changes in ourselves. Things probably we're not thinking, we're not looking for, but the transformation is happening from inside. It seems a lot more deeper than something that you learn from and read. and deliberately make that change, but meditation naturally transforms us. But essentially, Patriji always said that we are here to learn and enjoy. We enjoy our experiences, we learn from our experiences. And learning from happens in many, many, many different ways. Our essential way to learn, and the best way to learn is to be learning from nature. Because we are part of that nature. So nature exhibits everything that is there. That wholeness, that oneness, because nature represents everything. So when Patriji said, so you learn from everybody, learn from great minds, learn from every mind, because there's something that everyone can teach. One of the things that I always look back after I started my meditation, I look at the transformation I'm going through. I feel one of the core reasons why I was able to take it so quickly and so, I would say, effortlessly is because that I spent a lot of my time in nature. So when we talk about learning from nature, we also talk about learning from people who are close to nature, people who have already been experiencing the qualities of the nature. Nature means that oneness, that non-judgmental character, non-egoistic nature. When we talk about ego, it's about individualism, that identity. So people who are close to nature are people who exhibit that, and from that, people who are from the rural background, people whom we probably, especially if we are educated, when we get a lot of education, when we become a lot of professionals, we develop a lot of ego. But when you spend time, in villages, there's no boundaries. There's no, you don't look at my house, your house. You spend a lot of time. There's that community, that sense of community. I spent about some years back, I was trekking in Himalayas. As we were climbing, we passed through many villages. And I was amazed at how much gratitude that they have, how much unconditional love that they give. I mean, we were strangers. They absolutely, meeting them first time, they're greeting us with the same enthusiasm as if they're treating family members. They would offer whatever that they had. They may have no education, but that feeling of oneness, that feeling of gratitude, that feeling of giving, that feeling of abundance, feeling happy in that moment doesn't matter. We learn from people like that. Because we learn from women, inclusivity, having, that masculine nature is all about ego. It's mine. I have done this. This is my creation. I made this happen. But inclusivity is about, yes, it's all part of, it's a teamwork. I know a mother doesn't take credit, but gives credit to everybody. We learn from, so we all, again, I think when we practice meditation, we develop all these qualities naturally. But we learn from them. We learn from women. But more importantly, friends, and again, I think spending time in nature, learning from animals, learning from everything. I've spent a lot of my time in forests. When you go inside, you see that everything is connected. There's no ego. A tiger strolling inside the forest, if it's had its food, it doesn't eat, and the rest of the animals know too. They're not greedy. They take what is necessary, but live and let live. Everything works in such a cohesive manner. Tree is the, everything in nature is useful. There's nothing goes waste. Yes, there is always abundance. A tree might die, but there's a new tree coming up in a much better way. Everything is cooperating. If there is an imbalance, somehow the balance gets created. So learning from nature, there's so much to learn when we spend time with animals and nature. Of course, we learn from other meditators too. This is what we do. Get so much of inspiration. Yesterday we heard a team from St. Louis. Because again, as meditators, we start listening to our feeling, listening to our heart. There's no ego. We drop our ego. We connect to that field where everything is there. So friends, our transformation for me is all about learning from everybody and becoming, the goal, ultimate goal is to become one with everybody. But becoming one with everybody is dropping our identity. We use our identity to do something, but then we go back and merge with everybody. We don't get attached to that identity. We don't get attached to that ego, but become one with it. And that's what we learn from nature. So friends, let's get into today's meditation. Become again one with that field. Every meditation is about connecting to that energy field, quantum energy field, becoming one with everything and everybody. So let's go into another session, relax, an intent to deeply connect within ourselves. When we connect with ourselves, we are connecting with everybody. Anybody new? Technique is very, very simple. As every day we are practicing breath mindfulness meditation, where we cross our fingers, cross our legs at the ankle if you're sitting on the chair, sit comfortably and observe and close our eyes and observe our simple and natural breath. No need to wear specs. If you're wearing specs, you can remove them. And as we observe our breath, we become empty. Thoughts completely become zero. And when we become empty, we connect with that field, we experience that energy. And before that, we do a small technique called heart elevation to help us go into deeper state of meditation, where we bring up elevated emotions like love, gratitude, joy, compassion. Place our hands on our chest and bring these emotions. There's guidance. And after a few minutes, then we go into breath mindfulness meditation. So let's relax. Completely scan your body. Feel every part of your body relaxing. Some music played.
Dear friends, dear masters, with your eyes closed, specs removed, keep your hands on your chest area. And rest your attention on your sacred heart. And can you feel this loving heart center? Your primary connection into the quantum field. The center for all experience of life. Connect with your heart center, dear friends, which is expanding all life with its energies of love, joy, gratitude. Can you recollect an experience from your life, from your past, present, where you felt enormous love, joy, gratitude, or any of the heightened emotions, and relive that moment and elevate yourself Relive that moment of love and feel that energy inside your beautiful heart. And allow yourself to direct that energy onto every corner of this planet Earth, where it is received by the needy. Where your attention goes, there your energy flows. And slowly, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation with your fingers into fingers. Hands comfortably rested in your lap. With your eyes closed, observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. Our goal is to empty the mind and merge into that greater quantum field of energy. When we observe our breath, the mind becomes empty. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to become totally empty of all thoughts in your mind. When you observe your breath, the mind becomes empty. As your mind is becoming empty, we channelize all that energy into the generous present moment. We allow our body to function at its natural best. We gain greater clarity. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to experience that emptiness inside of you, all around you. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to become totally empty of all thought. Slowly and slowly can you become aware of that emptiness, where there's no body, where there's no thing. allow yourself to experience this emptiness. The infinite depth of that emptiness spreading far and wide. All emptiness is energy. This is the unlimited field of quantum energy with limitless possibilities. The longer you stay connected, the more you become of it and the more you receive from it. It is natural to have thought. If you recognize your thinking, go back to observing your breath, dear friends. everything that you ever experienced or will experience is here in this field of energy. The longer you stay aware of this emptiness as no body, the more possibilities you draw into your life. Allow yourself to merge into the emptiness of yourself. That greater intelligence your higher mind everything and everybody are connected in this field of energy. the longer you stay aware of this emptiness, the more you lose yourself to this nothingness, the more we experience everything. Friends, it's truly an honor and privilege to be experiencing this life at this time of history. Many are not so blessed. Can you express gratitude to all things and everybody? Your gratitude to your parents, your teachers, your mentor, your family, your friends, your colleagues, your relatives, your partners, everybody. Be grateful to this grand nature, the bird, the fish, and the animals, to everything you use, the technology, the company, the system, the governments. Gratitude to yourself and to this intelligent quantum field for allowing us to experience so much more in this life. Gratitude is an high state of receivership. Relax your body.
I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate.
Feel your body and let your autonomous nervous system
I am powerful.
repair your body.
And I celebrate who I am. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I celebrate who I am. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I celebrate.
Recollect your experiences from the session. How did you feel? What did you see? And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you may open your eyes. Yes, Rakesh.
We had a wonderful meditation, friends. Today we have two leaders practicing meditation. Of course, share their experiences of how transformed and how it helped in their life. So we have Jennifer.
Yes. So let me speak. So can somebody make me co-host, please? Hi, Jennifer. Great to have you. Can you spotlight me, Richard and Jennifer? Can you be a spotlight Richard, Jennifer, and me? Okay, thank you. Yes. Thank you for joining, Jennifer. Really, really appreciate you doing this in the middle of the night.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Great to have you. I met Jennifer through Paripatri last year in a mega pyramid function in Hyderabad, that Dhyana Mahachakram, in the mega pyramid that Patriji always used to organize. It's such an amazing to see her commitment to this cause and enthusiasm to actively participate and forget ourselves to just be part of this whole thing. So that's when I thought it'd be nice to have her in at least some sessions, and then understand her perspective, her journey into meditation. So thank you again, and Richa, can you introduce her, please?
Yes. Jennifer, welcome, ma'am. Jennifer K. here is a seasoned entrepreneur and professional speaker with over 20 years of experience, currently residing in Lisbon, Portugal. In 2018, she successfully exited her first company. Hill has been practicing daily meditation since 2012 and has made significant contributions to education by building 2 schools, one in Nepal and other in Senegal. She has been associated with Buddha Sia from past 1 year. Welcome you.
Great. You know, Jennifer, so we are on day 34. So that means we have 5 weeks complete. And here, many have been almost close to definitely 90 minutes and then close to 2 hours the time that is spending every day, understanding each of ourselves. Some, of course, have been practiced for longer, longer meaning more years, and then they're also there. So thank you for joining, and then it'll be good to hear your perspective, your journey into meditation and your messages here. We do have another leader after you, Narendraji, so thank you for joining too. So we'll hear from you after Jennifer. Thank you. Yes, Jennifer. All yours.
Thank you so much to Chandra and to the entire team, the Buddha CEO team, for inviting me to join you this morning. I'm here today because meditation has literally not only changed my life, but saved my life. When I was a very young girl, I didn't understand myself and I didn't understand other people. And it led for me to decades of pain, loneliness, anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation. I was very grateful that in 2012, 2 people who I trusted deeply both introduced me to the concept of meditation at the same time. And that began what has now been an 11, 12-year journey for me of never missing a day of meditation. I typically spend, at the very least, a half hour in meditation every day. And ideally, most days I do aim for about 2 hours of meditation every day, as well as prayer, reflection, inner child work, heart-focused breathing. I'm a huge fan of HeartMath's work in creating brain and heart coherence. And just joining you this morning, it was around my 2 a.m. when I got on here. It's so beautiful to be in this field of energy and this field of consciousness. What I find when I do talks around the world, I just gave a speech last week in Denver in Colorado. What I have found is, as human beings, so many of us are constantly in a state of fight or flight or freeze, this survival essence. And the reason this happens, a lot of us may not be aware of this, is what's called the 3-brain system. On the one hand, we have that amygdala side of our brain, the reptilian brain that is there trying to regulate our nervous system, fight, flight, or freeze. On the other hand, we have this mid part of our brain, the mammalian brain, which is, are you safe? Can I trust you? Are you like me? And finally, of course, the highest level of the brain, the neocortex, or our executive functioning. Why do I bring this up? Because when we meditate, we are quieting that amygdala side of our brain, that lower part of our brain, and thus giving ourselves access to that ability to connect with others, to that ability to have meaningful connection and purpose. In fact, a lot of people may not realize this, but our higher brains, the ones that allow us to connect and think creatively, cannot function without our lower brain first feeling safe. And so when I'm teaching classes around the world or doing keynotes on why do we meditate, why do we use these tools for personal resilience, it's because that is what allows us to have these deeper, more meaningful human connections. It's what I call the golden triangle of connection. And to me, this is only my perspective. I know there are many beautiful perspectives out there. When we prioritize meditation and cultivating that deep inner intimacy and love and knowing of ourselves, that's the bottom part of the pyramid, is having that deep connection to self. Once we've done that, once we've connected to the infinite, to the nothingness, to the everythingness that is in ourselves and every single other plant, animal, being on the planet, all things, even static things, then that allows for us to connect in this golden triangle of connection to others. And I often share with people that we might be able to have surface level connections with other people, though until we first cultivate that deep inner commitment and knowing of ourselves, we're not always going to have that capacity to be deeply connected to others, because then we're trying to take energy from others. Yet when we're in this state of coherence, in the higher meditative states, connecting to ourselves, prioritizing meditation daily, first we connect to ourselves, then we connect to others, and that allows us to reach the top of this pyramid, of this triangle, which is connection to our purpose. So one feeds into the other. And just yesterday evening, I was in Paris having dinner with friends, and we were discussing this very topic with many beautiful, wonderful thought leader friends I have. And some of them said, well, Jennifer, couldn't purpose and others all be one? It's less about thinking of things as separate, of one versus another. And it's more of understanding that connection emerges out of this field of connection. And in fact, in this beautiful meditation that was facilitated this morning, I was shown an image, which often happens to me when I'm completely sober. I'll be in a meditative state and I'm shown incredible visions and images of the world and the meaning and how to bring humanity closer together. And I was shown an image right before we finished of the infiniteness of time. And even actually the music was beautiful. The music was becoming stardust because the music itself was part of infinity. And fast forward, I was shown that there is a field of time. And this is a field, no more, no less. And that we sometimes step into this field of time. And when we do, sometimes if we're not raising our awareness, practicing meditation, we might accidentally see ourselves as trapped by time. So first I was shown an image of a person in the middle of an infinite field of all possibilities being handcuffed to this field of time. And then as the vision grew, I was shown that we were all things, all people, everything and nothing dancing in this field. If we could just first recognize that we have these proverbial handcuffs, and that could be our mind. You can take it to mean whatever you choose to mean in this moment. And how do we move from being burdened by, at the effect of our minds and time and fear? And how do we move through that into infinite connection, love, and dancing in this field that we call time and being a human being? So that's how it's been for me this morning, Chandra, and certainly welcome your feedback on any of that.
Okay. Thank you. That's great to hear your experience, that wholeness experience that you're talking about.
Yeah, it's infinity.
Infinity, more than wholeness. It's great. You have been an entrepreneur, and then subsequently you were there helping connect. I've seen you introducing Dr. Deepak Chopra Foundation and then a few others to us too. And you've been trying to connect people. So how is meditation helping in all of this and what you do every day in everyday life?
It's a great question, Chandra. I was actually just reflecting on that earlier today, or I guess now yesterday. When we meditate, it allows us to drop our judgments. To your point, I had this completely different life. For the first 15 years of my life, I was building and selling my first company. And then about 4 years ago, I was introduced to Deepak Chopra, Heart Math, and actually PSSM and many others, which is how I find myself here today. And I find when we're in that meditative state, there's more opportunities for synchronicities, miracles, and flow. So when I was younger, sometimes we would have drama. I don't know about any of you. Maybe you would have family drama or friend drama or relationship drama. And this is a theory. It's not the truth. I would say that the more that we were engrossed in this drama of our lives, the more we were disconnected from our breath, from the infinite, from everything and nothing. And yet, as we allow ourselves to drop in, then this capacity for love shows up. And then instead of being reactive and being demanding of our friends and family and colleagues, it gives us a spaciousness, an ability to be. Without space, if you think of a woman's body, a woman has to have space to be able to grow a child and to give birth to a child. One of my mentors once gave a great analogy of some of the largest cities in the world, like New York City, has this huge space of Central Park in the middle of it, so that way it can contain all of the energy of the metropolitan. So too, as human beings, in order for us to grow and to expand, do we need this space? So whether it's been in my relationship with my husband, who I love and cherish, in having deep intimacy and unconditional love and kindness between us, or if it's between me and my friends or my mother and my father who just passed away, when we're in this practice of what my dear friend Arthur Samuel Joseph would call deeper listening, out of that deeper listening in this meditation, things begin to emerge, things that we wouldn't have even imagined. I'll share one with you that was pretty profound for me this year. And I've noticed that the more time we spend in meditation, the more synchronicities, miracles, and moments of awe and wonder happen when we're not in meditation, which is one of my favorite aspects of it. So earlier this year, because I'm in this deeper listening, and whether I'm having a conversation with somebody like Chandra right now, or if I'm in a meditative state or giving a talk, I'm always listening deeply in that same meditative sense of being connected to the infinite, the one, the all. And one morning in January, it was mid-January, I would FaceTime my dad. We would FaceTime almost every day, he and my mom and I. And I felt the spark of his soul begin to leave his body. My dad was, a dear, I loved him. We were very close. And something happened, but because I had been meditating, because I'd been so deeply connected, I connected with him at the soul level. He walks out after the phone call, and I stay on with my mother. And I said, Mom, I think Dad's going to die in the next month and the next 30 days. And my mom looked at me and she said, honey, I think you're right. And there was nothing medically wrong with my father at that moment. He died of a really obscure blood clot a month later. And I say this because it's freedom. Freedom is being able to love, being able to lose, being able to have the whole spectrum of every human emotion you could potentially ever have, and still sit in that space of loving, quiet kindness and infinite connection to all things, that we're no longer at the effect of people. And since my dad passed, I've had moments of sadness, and I've also had predominantly great joy and deep connection and what I like to call soul talking with my dad and my other dear friend, Mark Golston, who was my mentor who passed away. And I invite us all to cultivate our practice, to cultivate our meditation, to prioritize it. Whether I'm teaching business executives around the world, CEOs that I coach, or whomever it might be that I work with, I'm always helping them to understand, prioritize your practice. When I get up in the morning, I do nothing else except sit down and meditate. That is the very first thing I do when I open my eyes every morning. And in fact, I was coaching a CEO I work with out of New York recently. And he said, Jen, I've only meditated 3 days a week instead of what I'm committed to doing, which is every day. And he was telling me how he would jump on calls. That would be his first thing. And I said, well, what if instead of jumping on calls, even if it's a 3 to 5 minute meditation, that you do that before your calls, and then that gives you greater access to connection. So I think it's cultivating that discipline, not in a punitive way, but in an expansive way, that our top priority that we are non-negotiable with is to prioritize ourselves in our practice. So I hope that is helpful for everybody. And thank you for all the beautiful comments here in the chat. It's such a joy to be with you all.
Awesome. Freedom is to not only love, but also to lose. I thought that's pretty cool. That's really liberates.
Yeah.
So many times you hold on to it. Letting go is so difficult. Or letting go of that attachment. I mean, they so naturally get attached to things.
Yeah.
There's meditation, I think, without necessarily going into reincarnation, life continuity. I think meditation just makes you feel that experience that you had, the wholeness experience, which is sort of causing you to now feel that you lose something.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing your personal experience of how you could easily overcome, and that experience was shown to you about your dad.
Thank you, Chandra. It's my privilege and my honor. That's why I will get up at any time, day or night, at least 3 or 4 times a month. I'm doing a show at 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. or midnight. In fact, next week, for anybody interested, I'm on the planning committee of something called the Global Coherence Pulse, where just like you beautifully did today, on the 3rd Saturday of every month, if you go to globalcoherencepulse.org, we have a community of people around the world, anywhere from 100 to several hundred of us, who get together and we meditate and we hear from brilliant thought leaders, the Deepaks of the world and Bruce Lipton's. And next week we have Dr. Shamini Jain joining us, and we pulse the field with love. So we begin with a conversation, and then we drop into a meditation and we pulse the entire planet with love. So that's one of my favorite things to do every month.
That's wonderful. Please do type in that link for that event, that any of, because heart elevation is an important practice. We adopted integrated meditations at the beginning always. And so I did recognize that this is very, very powerful. So sure would like to join the meditation, they will. So thank you so much for being there. Patriji, and I was there in Pyramid Valley and for this Buddha Purnima, the day Buddha was born and became his body, enlightened too. So old message listening, he said Buddhahood, or being in Buddhahood, is to see that you meditate daily, the first thing. Is that meditation not the first thing? Even if it is second thing, you're not coming to the Buddhahood. So the meditation becomes a priority, something that you're trying to coach that CEO, that make this your first priority. I'm glad I thought that's pretty resonated. It was so emphatic in saying that make this your first thing, not the 4th or 5th or 6th thing. And things will change. That's what you're saying with this deep, insightful understanding of the whole process. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, beautiful. I love it. It's all about the breath. So I put in a couple links in the chat. If anybody would like to connect with me, please do. And please continue, Chandra, to keep me apprised of how I can be of service to your beautiful community.
Thank you. Thank you, and Pari, for um, having this connection. And we'll continue to be there. And then I hear, are you coming into India again this year?
I was supposed to. Pari had invited me to an event in October, but Deepak Chopra has me speaking at his Sages and Scientists event in Mallorca that week. So I'm now going to be in Mallorca instead. If the link is not working, if you go to, I just saw some people are mentioning that the link is not working. If you go to my website, I think it's because we're about to update it with the graphic for next weekend. You can use my metaphysics.com gift link and you'll, number one, get a gift. And two, you'll get on my email list. And then as soon as the link's up and working again, or you can just try it later, then you'll be emailed and you get, a couple of times a month, different emails and gifts and things that I share. So I just put that in there. And thank you for everybody. I love all the connection in the chat. And please do stay in touch. If you'd like to connect with me on LinkedIn or wherever, however, please do feel free to do so, and would love to stay in touch with this beautiful community.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you much. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Richard, can you introduce Narendra?
Narendra Maripadi, sir. Welcome. Narendra Maripadi, a seasoned professional, previously served as chairman and managing director at Indian Overseas Bank. His expertise lies in crafting strategic business visions that leverage organizational strength and competitive advantages. Certified by Indian Institute of Bankers, he currently resides in Mumbai, where he occupies various roles as director, chairman, and member of several committees for different organizations. Alongside his professional endeavors, he has been dedicated to meditation practice for past 4 years and actively supports Buddha CEO initiatives, facilitating sessions voluntarily. Welcome, sir.
Yes. So at the outset, I am very much grateful to Master Chandraji for the opportunity given, not only today, but for the meditation, which I got introduced, as rightly mentioned, sometime in COVID period in March 2020 or April 2020. I am also grateful to Padma Shri D.R. Karthikeyan, who that time sent an email, and all of us were homebound, and I was thinking what to take it forward. And that time, in the right time, I got introduced to the 40 days meditation. And from then onwards, I have been fully trying to get engaged with the Buddha CVO Foundation and on my day-to-day meditation, and keep in touch with all the facilitators as well as Master Vani Madam and Rakesh and such meditation leaders. So in a personal way, in a meditation has really got into a transformative change in my life, and it has broadened my horizon in terms of various initiatives, activities, or in a way keep ourselves fully engaged. Apart from professional activities, it also needs to have some more our engagement with the society, engagement with the what you call spiritual, and also in providing leadership to a lot of people. So this meditation brought such immense possibilities and immense opportunities, and it has really given a new purpose of life, and that enabled me to get deep into my inner capabilities and have a opportunity brought and tap, and in a way live myself very purposefully and meaningfully. I am always a believer that we must be embrace the concept of abundance, which is being taught in meditation also, because instead of having a lack feeling or any restrictive ourselves, we must always have abundance, and the abundance directly correlates to the universe, as the universe is providing, irrespective of who he is, so much with a greater heart. That's where the earlier talk, that heart coherence really made all of us to believe that we are part of the greater design, and all of us are connected through the our what you call the heart. All of the hearts are same, and it enables us to widen, and whatever boundaries or certain comfort zones or certain of our own beliefs which are restricting ourselves, or it leads to negativeness in us, that all can be broken or all could be removed with the meditation and with the feeling of abundance, with the feeling of a larger universe. So that has really helped me to know that we are, of course, it is right from my banking or my professional days, I always believe that we are not for smaller, what you call work, we are for the part of the greater work. So that got reinstated and re-emphasized and brought me to this meditation. And that's where our Master Chandra, the concept of manifestation, that really helps. And because irrespective of your age or irrespective of your wherever, whenever, not to breed on the what happened in the past, but the current and the future are always bright for all of us. So in that, once you meditate, and for all that, I also, our Brahmarshi Patriji's, that for everything, meditation is the answer. So if that is the case, and which is a fact, why should we have the fear or certain feeling of loneliness or feeling of that we are less important? These are all brought by us only. So that has to be definitely taken out through that lack feeling, through the manifestation. And it is worth, of course, I had only attended online manifestation 3 days program, and each of the word Master Chandra mentions during the manifestation session, followed by preparing the vision board, following by preparing a greater goal setting, and having a dream of how to achieve economically those goals, and then having the what you call visualization, and later followed by affirmation. All that will naturally happen. There will not be maybe a time is the maybe today or tomorrow or later, but I have been experienced that whatever we truly manifest through the meditation, it has happened. Sometime back during the COVID only, I was thinking what should be my further activity. So we had an organization called NCube. So this NCube collaboration was done with the purpose of knowledge imparting. So with that purpose, I took this manifestation session and said that we must be able to do at least on online some webinar. And that time the idea was around 10 webinars. But I am very happy that we could do around 40 such webinars on various subjects, followed by later around 10 physical sessions as on date. So it is on the varieties of subjects of banking or international banking, or on the human resource management, or various other areas. So that was only due to our Master Chandra's manifestation session. So today, that has given a new purpose. Similarly, on the social issues, I was always feeling, what could I do for the social sector? So that time, during the COVID, we had our own family trust, by which we helped a lot of families who lost their dear and near one, and they had no means of livelihood. So we, through our own family trust, we could help. Later now, I got the opportunity to become the chairman of a public limited company, which runs a old age home at Sringeri. And
We lost him. Lost him, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What is there?
I think he's rejoining sir now.
Where is that?
I think he's rejoining now.
Okay. Rejoining. I think the dish that we are trying to get to, that meditation brought clarity to live a more purposeful life too. Of course, through our own careers, we would have done things as the job demanded, as a business warranted, and then if it has, let's say, CSR wing, if it has a natural role requirement to go and speak at conferences, we would have done many of those. But then doing them with the intention to add value, doing them because the job responds, they're two different things. I think we see regularly in meditation, the shift is occurring. It's no longer that, okay, so I'm doing it, I'm needed to do, I'm doing it. Instead now, it is, I legitimately and genuinely contribute. And I contribute with what I have as my talent. So it's good to see Narendra ji having that vision and a goal to revive post his coming out of his banking system or the bank from where he was working, to go and share the knowledge. And the 10 webinars became 40 and more and more. I've seen him very enthusiastically doing these activities. So wonderful to have him. And then he organizing many meditation sessions. Yes, sir. I see many sessions that I saw him.
so sorry, sir, line got disconnected. Anyhow, I will shorten my what you call whatever talk. And for corporate, our professionals, I have found that this meditation is a must, even for student community or for any one of us. So we must not lose this opportunity. We must take maximum advantage of our Master Chandras, and we must very grateful to and gratitude. Another important thing I learned through the meditation is gratitude. So we never express our gratitude, and we take all the advantage of our own near and dear or all the larger family. But meditation taught me that we must express and we must take the thing to give the what you call gratitude. It is not only to the human beings, and I am also very great endorser of the environment, nature, and the animals. And our earlier Master Rakesh was talking that how we should love the animals, how we should love the plants or trees. In fact, whatever we are experiencing wave of heat waves, it is all due to our own excesses. So the meditation made us to be that, because nature is the one which gives us the energy, and we draw the energy from the universe. And that being the case, we must be ever grateful to and gratitude to the nature, and even more in a way that in terms of our overall sleep patterns or a discipline to life, that has been brought through the meditation. So I found that whenever I go and meet corporate people now, the moment I take up the meditation and try to pass on some whatever brochure, magazines our Master Chandra and team sends, they are very much happy to receive that. So, in terms of propagating meditation, in terms of introducing the meditation in our corporate, wherever we are there, all of us should do that, because that is another important thing is we need to spread the meditation, and the whole world today needs meditation, because what we find geopolitical tensions, I think they never understood the importance of world peace, and we need to propagate, and that is a vision of our Patriji and Master Chandra, and really now we have a global presence. So with this, I shorten my speech, and I grateful to all our the greater family of Buddha CEO. And currently, I find that daily also at least 300, 400 people are attending, and after that, they are also seeing the what you call YouTube and other facilities, and our wisdom note which Master Chandra sends every day. It's a worth of, and it's like a book only. In a way, we could publish all that as a book, which will be very useful to in our day-to-day guide. Thank you, Master Chandra ji. It's my pleasure, and I will be always with you in terms of spreading meditation and being a part of your greater movement. Thank you.
Thank you, Narendra sir, for your active, enthusiastic support. In introduction meditations, I've been there with him to sessions. Then he will go and say, everybody come. So this is so nice to see, like, a father bringing everybody, right? And he just goes and says, it doesn't matter, it's office or home. You just go that way. And just for his enthusiasm, so many people come and sit down, youngsters to senior people. And I've seen him is able to pull the leadership there and say, you come and then join this session. Which is so important. A lot of times we facilitate and then we just simply say, it's not for me, so they go for the meeting. That message does not necessarily go very well, because it's like, asking a child and say, hey, you go do homework, I'll go do my TV. I may be busy and I may be doing many things, but it is good to, if we can, of course, everything is incrementally great, but the most effective when we are there together with the team, even for a few minutes of getting the practice going. But that's what we've seen with the Narendraji, to helping leadership also sit down along with the team members we are doing. So thank you, sir, for joining and sharing your thoughts and introducing meditation to Mangalore and many other places. We wish to do another 3-4 days trip again to go back and cover most of them once again.
Yeah, we need to definitely. Mangalore, so many institutions are there. They will be definitely taking your programs. We'll do that.
Yes. And we'll meet in Pune on July 6th and 7th, part of this regional conference of meditation leaders.
Yeah, I will forward to quite a lot of known people there. So we'll take their, they also attend the program. We'll try that.
Wonderful. That's great.
Yes.
So Rishikesh will be in touch with you. So whoever you want to do invites, and then other things that we can do that. We'll
Yes.
start it from today or tomorrow. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Had
Okay.
a successful trip in Delhi. You are already in Delhi, sir, or?
Yes. I'm in Delhi. Today is the final day. We have a day workshop.
Okay.
We do that and then taking a flight back. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, dear friends, for joining. It's always good to hear the perspective. No, it doesn't matter who we are. The issues are same. We are dealing with loss and separation. I thought it was pretty cool to have the understanding ahead for Jennifer to receive that message coming. It lightens up. It makes us accept situations easy when you know them before or after the fact. Either way. Before the fact, we become prepared. After the fact, then we have the understanding to accept. Either way, meditation is helping us do that, look into the past or future, as it is so necessary. And being this meaningful, more purposeful life, and so at once we decide to see that it is goes to everyone. That's what Narendra is doing. That's what Jennifer is doing. Connecting. That's something that I've learned from Karthikeyan, sir. Connect as many people together so that they share the best that they have, and then of course add value to each other. So create a service each of us can do. It doesn't have to be that, no, I have to be a great teacher, I have to have great resources, but simply sharing knowledge is the greatest thing that we can do. All knowledge sharing platforms are highly successful. It's Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, the most successful because that's natural. Anything nature driven will always be multiplying. And so we have that with us. So look forward to all of us getting into this more and more, and in sharing what we are experiencing. And so we'll talk about this regional conference of meditation leaders, the next thing that we're doing, right occasion to talk in Pune in July 1st week, July 6th and 7th. We've done a global conference in Delhi earlier this year in February. Then our first regional conference, St. Louis had the credit to do that first one. And then now the second one that we are doing in Pune, and then we continue to do more of them. Here in Delhi, one of the core reasons why I came here, then Vani and I are here, and then we're going around is to see and identify the right place for the second global conference of meditation leaders. We want to be more bigger, more larger, more expansive format for next year. So that's happening. So we've seen some good places. So hopefully when we do this next year, announce a global conference, we're wishing that many Buddhas worldwide plan to come and join that. It'll be a 4-day conference with many speakers worldwide, and then many Buddhas coming to with a meet for them too. And so we'll hear more of it as we go along. But we do think that we're going to launch by end of July, there before that. So thank you, and we'll see you all tomorrow for a Sunday long meditation. Meeting new people, new places, increase our opportunity to manifest. Now, talking about manifestation is creating, with drawing an experience into our life, creating our future, realizing our goal or dream, from energy to physicality. An experience comes into the effect into a physical life called manifestation. With our thoughts and feelings create a reality. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. Observation manifests possibility.
But there was one thing that I was really focused on manifesting, and that was clearing that competitive exam. After this 2 years, I didn't clear that exam. So at that moment, I ran to Chandra sir, and sir didn't force me to meditate, but he said to try to meditate. But he asked me more to use affirmations and be in that gratitude state. And I think these suggestions work like miracles. A week after I met sir, there was an amazing opportunity that came by. But the thing was, it required a minimum 3 years of experience as a practicing advocate. I hardly had less than a year of experience. So regardless of this limiting belief, I applied for it, and I manifested that opportunity, that fellowship. I got it.
On professional front, we pivoted. My team grew from 2 to 10, and there are times I have worried about how am I going to pay these folks? How am I going to plan for this? And every time I had considered, like, this month I'm a little short of cash, and very interestingly, the universe would send a couple of projects our way. Customers would pay upfront in advance, and it is very interesting, very enchanting to look at your own life as a third party.
Even my kids and everyone are transformed at our home. And it has been a meditation home and not just a home. That's what we manifested, and it's working great. Because when we are working for the universe will work for us. That's what I think.
I had so many questions today, but the 5 things you gave, most of them gave a beautiful satisfaction to my questions, what I was asking. On the top of all those 5, I considered the reprogramming limiting beliefs. That is the best thing I considered myself.
I implemented that placebo effect, and I tried it. It did work.
Welcome, friends and masters, to 30-second session of 40-day nature program. We have been learning about how meditation aids in improving our emotional quotient, be it in being self-aware or self-expression or inspiration, being empathetic to others and engaging. I cordially invite Chandra sir to take over for today's session. Thank you.
Happy morning, dear friends and masters. Great afternoon, good evening. Get my light right. Superconscious mind. Or one mind. Or whole mind. Or the mind of the quantum field. They all are referring to one thing, and that is the intelligence or the existence. We have a conscious mind, the limited mind that scans, that is developed through the society, our culture. Culture and society give us one mind, that's our conscious mind. So everything we think and feel relatively here is around what's going on around us here. Our subconscious mind is slowly developed over a period of time with that, and then your past experience is being fused into it. A subconscious mind is the essence of what our life has been. The essence of life. Whereas conscious mind is right now busy navigating through the current environmental challenges or interests. Subconscious mind is the essence of whole life, which is what we called it in the past, the beliefs, the personality, are the programs that are written, through which we operate. The superconscious mind is the mind of everything. The mind of everything and everybody that exists. If mind is equal to thought is equal to energy, then we are talking of now energy here, each of them. Brain is there, but brain is simply the mind, the thought in action. Simply thought in action to store information and then utilize that information to create chemicals, and then that starts the process into the body in some way or the other. So that we have an experience. So we are an experience machine. We are here to experience life. But the process is starting from a thought, which is energy. Now then, so the mind is thought, and so all minds are thought, all minds are energy. Conscious, subconscious, superconscious, the one mind existing, mind of the existence. Everything is bigger from the another one or smaller from the other one based on the type of use it has, type of understanding it has. If it is about my mind, it is only thinks of me. By definition, one person mind is thinking about that person, the conscious mind. A superconscious mind is mind of everybody. You must be thinking about everybody then. Because the definition is the mind of everybody. And so this concept of one mind, or the mind of the quantum field, is the mind of everyone and everything. That means it's always thinking for the greater good of everybody and everything. The concept of superconscious mind, or the one mind is, or the whole mind is, it is complete in itself. So it knows that everything is there with it, because it's representing everything out there. It represents everything out there. The intelligence is representing everything out there. And so it knows that whatever that is required to be, everything is there with it. It knows that everything is there with it. Everything means every experience, whether it is physically here, whether it is an energy form there, but every experience that one can conceive and think of is in it, because it's a field of infinite. We can test this. Any experience you can think of, and the answer to you, the moment you can think of any experience, will you be ever say with definite no that the experience cannot come to you? You can never say, any experience you take, I'm going to moon. Can you say it's not possible? I'm going to sun. Can you say it's not possible? You may say right now there's no technology that can hold it, so everything will just burn away. But then with your whole understanding that everything that seemed impossible at one point became possible. So who knows? The answer would be that maybe. The moment we cannot say with definite no that something is not possible, then it is possible. That means that the experience is there. Every experience that you can ever think of, conceive of, is always there in the field. Imagination is the vehicle through which you impress the subconscious mind, the superconscious mind. Imagination. How much I can go about dreaming, how much I can go about constructing. Imagination means constructing your experience beautifully in your mind through energy level. Imagination is creating an experience at energetic level. Think of it as a physical form is not there, but you created that form in the energy level, the structure, an astral template, an energy template. And we create an experience of, me here, and then Buddha was worldwide, all meditators worldwide together. Now imagining, 50 of us going into Africa, Kilimanjaro, that mountain, we want to scale that mountain. We start expedition going up. We're all sitting in between. We are imagining right now there we are relaxing and then taking a meditation dip and going up further. Now that's imagination. You are creating the template of all the people, the places, Kilimanjaro. And if you read more about it, then you would bring it more alive because you know what it means like. And then so you're creating Kilimanjaro, the Africa, the flights, the situation where you go in and then people coming from different parts land, they tell their stories. It'll bring a lot more imagination. So now all of that is your imagination, which we are constructing an energy template. And we know observation manifests possibility and experience is there. We learned this in the week 3, that quantum physics understanding, that there are infinite possibilities. Observation manifests the possibility. So the imagination is observation, is very powerful, is giving an unseen form to the whole experience. If there are 50 people, different parts of the world, think of them as those energy bulbs everywhere. There is some energy from there emitting. All of them are traveling. So they're all a part of it. Everything that is there around, all a part of an energy template, which is all coming together into a single place in Africa somewhere to go into that Kilimanjaro mountain. You're impressing the superconscious mind through imagination. That means that it is going to respond back to us. When you impress some people, if you got a business leader come into your office, and in some conversation somewhere in a town hall meeting, somewhere you had the ability, and then you talked about a few things. You talk about a vision, you present a vision. What would happen? The leader who came in globally, and then you're talking about a vision sitting here, the moment you present about a vision, is how you impress people. We're always fascinated with futuristic things, you know that. We'll always think about it. We are fascinated about futuristic things. And so if you are able to put a vision out there, vision means what? Something future. Then how did it come? You're imagining about it. So when you put a vision out there, then automatically the leader would potentially get impressed. And so when they're impressed, then what are they doing? They're saying, okay, Here is somebody who's got huge potential. They're presenting a vision of the future. That means they know how to navigate themselves to go there. So let me give them funding. Okay, what do you need? Funding. What do you need? I need 2 resources. What do you need? I would like to come to this so-and-so office facility and then interact with a group of people to know a little more about it. And so come back and implement. Cool, it's given to you. You are able to impress that source must give, because what is the source is looking for? What is that business leader, the CEO is looking for? Looking for expansion and growth. More experience for whom? To the employees, to the investors, to the stakeholders, more better experience. How does it come? By creating new vision. Imagination is equal to vision. You're thinking of something that does not exist. And so then, just the way we impress upon our bosses, impress upon people, and children impress upon parents with their imaginative ideas, with their foresight. It's called foresight. Looking into the future, creating a future. So just the way we impress upon our bosses and people here through our imagination, our vision, so is the case with the quantum field, dear friends. Quantum field is simply the single mind. The superconscious mind is single mind of everything and everybody. A household, head of household is responsible to take care of everybody. The one mind is responsible for take care of meeting aspirations of everyone and everything. And the way to connect with it, the way to receive responses from it is through imagination. How do you receive responses? Through synchronicities. The messages that we receive, the events that show up in front of us. Our meditation is helping us to imagine and dream more. It expands our faculties of imagination. It gives more and more clarity so that we no longer feel that I don't know what I need. Instead, you move forward. It drops the fears about, fear of looking bad, fear of failure. And so then we move forward without holding us back necessarily. So all of them help us to move into creating new imagination. You can give different words to it. But this is a great faculty that human beings have, is to imagine and dream of. And if you're already putting visions out there to impress, a child impressing a father, a subordinate or an employee, colleague impressing the manager, the directors impressing the board, always through changing and then presenting something new that is not there called vision. And that happens when you can imagine and think of the future ahead of time. Thinking of a future ahead of time is imagination. And so why would we not use that faculty that is given to us to create, to expand, to make it greater for ourselves, to everybody, to multiply our experience? International sportsmen, athletes, who are symbolizing the peak performance in the body, are mind games, whereas cricket is the greatest mind and body game. And then many of the successful athletes are using this capability, imagination, which is called visualization, imagination. They use this capability. Of the training time they use, not everything is physical. They use a lot Sometimes equal to 50% of the time utilized in doing the rehearsal in the mind, imagining what exactly they need, how exactly they're going to navigate the situations. So it works great when you have the detail. Imagination is impressing. Your doubt and uncertainty are we are losing all the impression. You know, I'm going to a CEO and they're talking about any futuristic idea, but in between I keep saying that, but I don't know whether it's going to work or not. I don't think my people around me is going to cooperate with me. I know this place is, we don't have adequate resources, not possible. You present idea on one side, you're impressing. Another side, you keep using these things, you have doubts within yourself. Maybe it might work. I can tell you it's not a great idea, but it might work, might not work. Give me funding. Okay, thank you. I heard you. But funding later. Because you yourself keep doubting. So doubt and imagination have no place. I mean, doubt and uncertainty. If you keep projecting your imaginations, you keep including doubt into it, uncertainty into it, fear into it. If you do these three things, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. If you carry those three, then your impression is getting slowly going away. That marks that you impressed upon is becoming weaker and weaker. Whatever that you impress becomes weaker. So manifestation does not necessarily happen. Just the way that CEO may not be interested in giving funding because they're not sure. Why should he waste the resource with you? Because you're creating an opposing reality, saying that this will come, that will come. And so they'll also show up because that's your creation. So when fear is removed, uncertainty is removed, doubt is removed, and then when imagination is there, dear friends, superconscious mind is deeply impressed. And so that means it's got to give back. It must respond in a ways that you don't even imagine and expect, and then it's going to give. Many, many impossible situations for people have been resolved. In group situations. I was talking, I think on Monday, about the latest that I hear. You know, somebody in the year 2020, I'm talking about the real estate deals that are so complicated everywhere. The conflicts that we have around money and assets are always difficult to resolve because everybody wants that. Everybody holds the stake when money is involved. Of course, ego is involved also is a big thing. But I think that ego can be dissolved suddenly. But money is physical, touching. You know, how can people let go of it? The conflicts around money, they hold on to it. But meditation, where you singularly with focus imagine about it, and you don't let the element of doubt come in, which is what the job of meditation is, to slowly drop the doubt. And so then they seem to get resolved. Somebody who said for 10, 15 years a deal didn't happen. In COVID time, he calls and says, sir, this has happened after a few months. This woman from a village who just showed up this Sunday when I'm meditating, against so many odds and conditions that so many people put a stake onto the land, nobody wants to give up. A family member, somebody random, and then someone who was leasing the land for a long time, more than 30 years, everybody had a stake in it. And the issue is not getting resolved for years. With meditation, with a total belief and acceptance of the process that does not let any doubt seep in, then she was able to see that the land is in her name in 60 days. Against great odds, things happen. Seemingly impossible things happen. So does health. Impossible that it is not possible does happen for people, dear friends. Let's go into meditation once again. And then we will understand today this whole visualization subject a little bit more. Relax yourself. Sit comfortably. Relax your body. Scan your body from head to toe. We are practicing, let me put up, we're practicing breath mindfulness meditation. Our goal is to empty the mind. And as you see in the picture, sit down comfortably in a sofa or a chair or in the floor, cross your feet at ankle, fingers into fingers, hands comfortably rested in your lap. Observe your normal, natural breath.